Good morning, JP Eagles. I'm glad you're with me today. I sure miss you guys. Wish we could be together. But I want to welcome you to my music studio. Today we're going to look at the grand piano. So first, we need to get it cleaned off. See what I did there? I'm able to put the lid up on a grand piano, whereas with other pianos I can't put the lid up. I have to leave them closed, and that's fine. This allows more sound to come out. So if I'm accompanying for a singer, I'm gonna want the lid down, or if I'm just playing here at home, probably gonna want it down. But if I'm doing a concert or something where I'm the featured performer and I want a lot more sound, I put the lid up. We're gonna take a look inside the piano and see all the guts and all the fun stuff in there. Okay, here we go. Come along with me. Okay, so we're gonna look inside the piano and you should see lots of strings. We have our really high strings right here. See, they're very, very tiny and they're very, very short. And as we proceed on into the piano, we're gonna see that they get longer. They even will crisscross each other. You see we have the ends of our bass chords here, our bass strings here. They go all the way up to there. They all meet up there at the soundboard. That's where they all come together. And you'll notice we have some dampers right here. These little, they look like they would be the hammers, but they're actually not. They're actually the dampers. We're gonna find those hammers though, because we can see them pretty easily in here. So when I hit a note on the piano, let me reach around here and get one. Let's see, which one am I gonna get? There we go. Can you see up under there? That hammer is hitting that chord, is hitting that note, hitting that string, and as it hits it, the damper comes up. Okay, now I'm sitting at the piano. So as I'm sitting at my piano, this should look very familiar to you. We have our low notes down here. Sorry, can you see me? And all the way up here, we have our high notes, just like on the pianos that you play at school. Now, but here's a few differences. I want you to see, again, we're gonna look at the inside of the piano from the other end, from the piano keyboard end, so that I think you'll be able to see the dampers just a little bit better under there. Thing going on here. So I'm going to play a couple of notes, and if you will look right into this area here, you will see the hammers striking the strings. As long as I hold the note down, the damper stays up and the hammer stays up. But as soon as I release the key, everything goes back to its original spot. A lot of you have asked me questions about what do those pedals do? What happens when we push the pedals? Now, when we have piano at school, you don't have pedals. We could attach them, but we don't because we have enough chords to deal with, correct? So on a regular piano, on an electric piano or an acoustic piano, we have pedals. Every piano will have at least two. Some of them will have three. And we're going to talk about what those three pedals do and what they're called. Hey, guys, down here. Come down here. Hello. I'm under the piano. Because why wouldn't I be under the piano? Okay, so we have three pedals on this piano. Remember, some pianos only have two. This one has three. This first one here, I would play that with my right foot. This is the damper pedal. It sustains the notes, it lifts the dampers so that even after I've released the key, the sound still continues. I use this one all the time. This is probably the most important pedal on the piano. Then, oh goodness, this middle one here, can you see that one? This one is not very important. It's called the sostenuto pedal. Honestly, I don't think I've ever used it in my life. What it's supposed to do is if you hold it down it lifts the dampers over the bass notes, but not the treble notes. So the low notes are sustained while the upper notes are not sustained. This one over here on the left-hand side, this is called the una corda. The una corda is just what it means, just what it sounds like. Una meaning one, chord meaning a chord or string. So it literally plays one chord. What it does is makes the piano softer. So it shifts the keyboard over so that not all the strings of a given note are being hit at the same time. It's only hitting one of the chords that go with a particular note. This one's really handy if I'm wanting to play soft for a long time. I can just play that, push that down, and play normally, and my volume is reduced by quite a bit. Okay, so there you go. There's all three pedals. Okay, so I'm going to hold down the una corda pedal. This is the one that makes the piano very, very soft. And I want you to look very closely. I'm going to hold my hand still on the case of this is called the case of the piano, so that you can see just how slightly these keys move. Now watch the keys. Are you ready? Do you see how they slightly move when I press that pedal with my foot? So you can see there's my foot down there, because I don't wear shoes in the house. So there's my sock feet, and there's my hand. Now watch the pedal, watch the keys, and see how they move. Now, what does that do to our sound? So now I'm going to use the una corda pedal, and I'm going to show you how much softer the piano is. So first I'm going to play without the pedal, and then I'll press the pedal down and let you hear the difference. Okay? This is without the una corda pedal. Now I'm going to play the same thing, but using the una corda pedal. Could you hear the difference? The nice thing about that is if I'm accompanying for someone, I don't have to always remember to play soft. I can make the piano be that soft without using that pedal, but if I'm playing for a long time, accompanying someone, I don't want to accidentally play too loud. So that's why I would use that pedal, and then I don't have to worry about how hard I strike the piano. Unlike our keyboards at school, I control the volume on the piano by how hard I hit the keys. If you've noticed at school, it doesn't matter how hard or how lightly you press the keys, it's the same volume, you just control it with the little volume knob. No volume knob here, not one, none. So I have to do it myself. It's all manual. And that's the one thing that I like about the piano. So let's take a look at our control panel. Think back to school when we were doing our 3 weeks of pianos, and we had all these buttons and control panel things up here. We could do sound effects. We could make our piano sound like a clarinet. We could make it sound like a tuba. None of that here. Not a thing. Matter of fact, there's not even a white power button over here. Can't turn it on. It's always on. The only power buttons, the only sound effect type buttons that we have on the piano are these pedals that are down below. So now I'm going to demonstrate for you the damper pedal and what it does. So this is going to be a little difficult to do by myself, but I think I can figure it out. So I'm going to be using my right foot on that very first pedal that I showed you. And as I hold it down, it's going to lift those dampers up so that when the hammer strikes the string continues to vibrate. Once I release the pedal, the dampers go back down, they touch the string, they stop the vibration. We all know about that. Okay, so let's look at what the damper pedal does and what the dampers do. With no pedal, I just have my feet on the floor, I'm not touching any pedals. The dampers and the hammers move together. So you'll be able to see that. Looking right through here, you'll see these dampers coming up. As the damper comes up, the hammer hits it. And so they move together. This is with no pedal at all. there, can't you? So when the damper lifts and the hammer hits the string, that's what causes the vibration that causes the sound. But as soon as I release the key, the hammer goes down, so does the damper, it touches the string, and it stops the vibration. Sometimes I don't want to do that. That would be not a very pretty song if it was just that choppy. So by pushing, holding down the damper pedal, do you see where my dampers raise up over here? Can you see that? No hands, it's not me, it's my feet. So I push that damper pedal down and it raises all of the dampers. Because the piano doesn't know what string I'm going to play, so it just raises all of them. Now I can play. And when I release the pedal, the sound will stop because the dampers went back down. Kind of a cool thing. It takes a lot of practice to get your hands and your feet all coordinated together to make that work. So if I use my damper pedal appropriately, it should sound something like this. So as we look at the acoustic piano, this one looks almost identical to the ones we have at school. You'll notice we have black keys, we have white keys. Oh, look, we have a doggy door. There's our 2 black notes, and there's D. 2 black notes, there's D. Just like on the pianos that you play at school. They are identical. The only difference between this piano and the one you play at school is that this piano has 88 keys. The one at school has 66. Now, let's look over at the upright piano. So this is my upright piano. I got this piano when I was probably 11 or 12 years old. Cool story about this piano right here. I wanted to play piano so badly. And my parents could not afford to buy a piano. And so my dad, being the great woodworker that he is, went to some place, I don't know, up in Kansas or someplace like that, and found the guts, the insides of a piano, and bought that. And then he built the casing that you see right here. He built all the wood that you see here. And so I will never get rid of this piano because literally my dad built this piano for me. Our low notes, they're still down here. Our high notes, sorry, they're still right there. So the piano still works the same. Low notes are in the same place. High notes are in the same place. The doggy door is the same. Nothing has changed. It's just this one's tall and vertical, whereas the other one is long, shorter, but horizontal. So they are the same size. The grand pianos can actually come as short as like 5 feet and as long as 11. Obviously you wouldn't have that in your house, but it would fit nicely on a stage or some kind of concert venue. So those are the 2 pianos that I have in my house. I have a room pretty much devoted to my 2 pianos, and right now David's tuba is under the piano, because why wouldn't you keep a tuba under your piano? So, JP Eagles, thank you for joining me today for our music time. I hope you'll join me again next week. Hey, leave some comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you enjoyed. Next week, we're going to look at tubas and flutes. We'll have 2 special guests joining us. I hope you'll be with me. Love you guys. Hope you got your packets yesterday at school, or you'll be getting them soon because we have some activities in there too.